Hey guys, it's Shelby, and today it's time for another anti-haul. Now, I know this is a lot of y'all's favorite. I know this is a lot of your favorite. What do I say? I know this series is one of your favorites, we'll just say that. The anti-haul series, and normally when I started this series, I would say at the beginning of every video, this type of video is not meant to be solution based. This is mostly a rant where I come on here after I've had a list that I've compiled over the course of like a month and rant about some wasteful things and hopefully get some people to think about things a little bit differently, because I normally try to include things that wouldn't be so obviously wasteful, but that maybe could light a light bulb in your head to say, oh yeah, that's wasteful and like completely unnecessary. It's never been meant to be solution based, but recently I decided that I would start writing a blog post in tandem with each anti-haul to give a sustainable solution to each of the issues or products that I say are wasteful, and I recommend something that's a little bit less wasteful as a counterpart to them. So if you're interested in that, check out the blog post that I'll leave linked at the very top of the description. And actually the reason I'm specifically pointing this out today is because I got a comment after my anti-haul of the iPhone 11. I got a comment on that video saying that someone was unsubscribing because I'm so negative, which I find very strange because I went through and looked at all my videos, and the only negative videos I make are the ones of my anti-hauls, and I'm not gonna pretend to be someone I'm not and not say that these wasteful things don't bother me. Like, there are plenty of channels out there that are doing the like simplicity, really chilled out, laid back, like hippie version of environmentalists. That's just not me. So if you want that version, I have plenty of friends on the internet that are those people, but I am not that person. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the things that we are anti-hauling today. First things first, a lot of these are going to be fall themed because it is like officially fall. It's really not cool in my house right now, but I really wanted to be in the fall-esque like theme. So I decided to wear long sleeves and like a fall-ish color and stand by my like cornucopia-esque background. I don't know what I'm saying, you guys. It's been a long day. Anyway, first thing I'm anti-hauling is something you might literally have no idea about if you don't live in the South, or maybe even more specifically like certain parts of Texas, because I know there are certain parts of Texas that don't even have this, but it's a homecoming mum. Please tell me if you know what this is by what I just said, or if you don't in the comments, because if you don't, it's going to seem quite wasteful, and if you do, it might light up some nostalgia for you, and you might not have realized before how wasteful they are. But homecoming mums are a tradition, at least here in where I grew up in Texas, and every homecoming you'll get this like flower with a bunch of ribbons, and they'll have glitter, maybe bows, particularly for me when I was in high school, lights, bubbles, air horns. It's a time of year where you go all out, and basically it's something that your homecoming date buys you to wear to school on the day of homecoming. You also wear it to the homecoming game. Listen, I told you guys I was best dressed in high school. I've said that before if you don't know that. I was voted best dressed in high school. So of course I had to have the biggest, best mum. So my mom didn't just have one plastic flower. It had 10 plastic flowers. It had lights, it made sounds, it was extravagant. But it's one of those things that literally all of these resources go into it for you to wear it for one day. You can save it for mementos in the future. I have mine somewhere at my parents' house, but it's not something I ever think to look back on. And honestly now, things that I did back then make me think of just how ridiculously wasteful I was. So it's not a positive memory to look back on for me, but they are very, very wasteful. And I wish there was another way to celebrate sort of the tradition of homecoming without having to get these mums, because I understand the like excitement of it and the want to like have the biggest, coolest mom in school. When you're young, you don't understand how wasteful that is. Case in point right here. But now that I'm grown, I see the wastefulness in buying something that's literally meant to be used for a single day, and then nothing else will ever be done with it. And people get these for like every year of their high school. So like freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. And then they throw them out. It's very wasteful. It only happens in homecoming season. So I'm gonna go ahead and anti-haul the moms. Past Shelby, I'm so sorry. Future Shelby is very disappointed in you. Okay, so this next thing is very strange, and I feel like people just keep creating these like kitchen gadgets hoping that people will like find them useful or literally buy them just to see if they will work. Like I feel like there's a whole market, the as seen on TV stuff, where they think if we could just get this in front of a certain audience, they're gonna buy it just to see if it'll work. And that's how they're like making money. Specifically with this product, it's called like, I think Egg Best, or something along those lines. It's basically meant for you to crack an egg in this little like plastic or silicone container, boil your eggs like that, and then like, so you don't have to crack and peel the egg later, but you crack the egg to pour it into the boiling. I'm not really sure I see the benefit of this. Let me know if anybody in your life uses these, or if you've seen them on TV, or if you've seen them in stores. I will say I personally know someone who bought these. She doesn't use them, spoiler alert. And yeah, all these like really single-use type of kitchen gadgets that are really gimmicky, I like to anti-haul them because I just think a lot of them are pointless. Some of them might be useful, but those in particular are just really dumb. Now this next one's really interesting and something that I've seen happen a lot recently in my family and my friends. I feel like those are always my reference points. If someone in my life is doing something that I think is wasteful, I kind of take note of it and put it in my anti-haul. And this one is excessive returns, okay? And actually one of you commented this on my Instagram whenever I asked for you to give me ideas for the anti-haul. Someone said just returns in general. I think it's a little silly to say that you can never return anything, but going into a store and buying something, taking it home with you to try it on, and then just return all the things that you don't like is incredibly wasteful. I can't speak to every store policy, but I can tell you that whenever I was a dumpster diver, I still need to get back into that. I think I'm gonna get back into that this fall/winter when it cools down a little bit. Regardless, when I used to dumpster dive a lot, I would find returns in said dumpsters. Literally in all of the main corporate dumpsters I would dive in, I would find perfectly usable items in these dumpsters that were thrown away just because they're returned. Some stores do resell their returns, but a lot of stores don't. I can link a couple videos. Actually, I'll just link a playlist up here of my dumpster dives. You'll see with Ulta, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Old Navy especially, perfectly good items are thrown out just because they are returns. So a note to anybody out there that goes and purchases clothing and then brings it home to try it on and just casually returns whatever you don't want, please utilize dressing rooms. That's literally the point of them. And then those clothes won't just get tossed out because you took them home to return them. I'm getting frustrated because I know this and I've seen this, but I know a lot of other people don't. So I wanted to put that in here to let you know that a lot of companies don't resell their returns. I'm not sure why, what the policies are, but please be aware that just because you're returning it doesn't mean it's going to get resold. It's likely going to be thrown in the trash. Again, since it's fall, something else we need to anti-haul are putting your leaves in bags and then throwing them in a landfill. This is not a huge issue here in Texas, actually, because we don't experience real fall and most of our trees are evergreen, so we don't have to like rake up pine needles and bag them and like ship them off because they don't fall like regular fall weather that you think of. But I have seen it happen sometimes here in Texas, and also I know it happens a lot around the US. People rake their yards of leaves, put them in plastic bags, and then send them to landfill. The amount of ridiculous that is blows my mind. First of all, why do you feel the need to rake up your leaves? I don't get this mentality of people wanting to have perfect yards. And I always thought it was like a homeowner thing, like you take pride in your yard, blah, blah, blah. And like, I thought maybe when I owned a home, I would get it, but no, I still don't get it. It's still wasteful to water a lawn just to keep it green, to rake your leaves and throw them to a landfill. What is going on? Just leave the leaves there, or if not, compost your leaves. Like, figure out a way to do something with those leaves so that they're not creating greenhouse gases in a landfill somewhere. What is wrong with people? So I guess I'm anti-hauling the act of raking the leaves, but more so the bags that they put the leaves in, and then the fact that they put them to landfill. Anti-haul. So another trend that is coming around, and it's frustrating because I know things from the 90s are coming back into style, and that's part of why this has become cool again. But like, I was so stoked when I didn't always have to use a disposable or even a film camera to take pictures. I've actually been into photography for a long time. Like, I remember my first camera I ever got was a pink film camera, and it was like Barbie. It was a plastic pink camera that my cousin bought me, and I was so excited. But the day that I got my first digital camera, I felt like my whole life had changed. I could see the pictures I was taking and get good pictures. The 21st century was an amazing thing for this young photographer. But nowadays, people are bringing back the disposable camera like it's a cute thing to do. I'm pretty sure it's a whole trend on YouTube to go and buy a disposable camera and then like let their friends or something go around taking pictures of it, or taking pictures of it themselves and then getting them developed and like going through the pictures. It's definitely a trend on Instagram right now to like go around with disposable cameras. You guys, we live in the 21st century where we have the most amazing technology. We don't need to be throwing away cameras. What is happening? The Polaroid cameras were one thing, okay? When people started printing Polaroids and then taking pictures of them on their digital phones and then posting them to Instagram, which is like, so meta. It was weird, but now we're literally throwing away plastic cameras just to be entertaining or because we think it's cute and have a flashback to the 90s, and I'm not here for it. That's probably one of the most frustrating trends I've seen around recently. So I'm going to go ahead and anti-haul disposable cameras. Never thought I would have to do that in 2019. Something else that's single use, toothbrushes. Have you guys ever gone to the dentist or the orthodontist, because that's where I learned about these, and they want you to brush your teeth? So like you should have brushed your teeth at home before you came, or like at school, or maybe have a toothbrush in your bag since you have braces. It's really a good idea actually. But they'll hand you these plastic toothbrushes with toothpaste already in them for you to brush your teeth and then throw away an entire plastic toothbrush. They have really gross bristles, by the way. They're kind of like plastic bristles, not like regular toothbrush bristles. They're like plastic. It's not a pleasant experience. But anyway, they'll hand you this toothbrush. You'll use it for literally 2 minutes and then it'll be on the earth forever. No, seriously, single-use toothbrushes are really, really wasteful. And I would love to hear if there are any dentists out there that have like alternatives to this, because I know brushing your teeth is important, obviously, before a dentist appointment, but taking personal responsibility enough to brush your teeth with your own reusable toothbrush before you go to the dentist can help avoid this, obviously. So here's a PSA. Brush your teeth before you get your mouth worked on. Thank you. God, there's a lot of trends in today's video. Maybe this video will be titled something about trends. This next one is very frustrating. If you're not tuned into the beauty scene, you might not have heard about it. The reason I heard about these is because I have a really guilty pleasure that I do. It's called watching Trisha Paytas. If you guys don't know who Trisha Paytas is, you have not been on YouTube for 10 years like I have. I've been obsessed with YouTube for so long that the OG YouTubers that are still around, I watch them. Anyway, I found out about this through her, even though she's not a beauty guru, but apparently there's a new trend going around of having very small fridges for your skincare. Yes, buying a whole nother device to put your skincare in when in your kitchen, you have one. You could just put it in there. I know people don't think about how wasteful these things are, but honestly, the process, anything, especially electronics, the process they have to go through to get to your door is so extensive. The mining of all the materials it takes to create a refrigerator is insane. The freon that has to go into your refrigerator is not something to take lightly. Like, these sort of resources are actually running out. Like, literally, I don't know if you guys know this is a side note, but we're running out of helium. And helium is not just used for balloons at birthday parties. It's actually used in the medical field, and also NASA uses it to help make things for space discovery. Like, there are actual purposes of helium rather than like sucking it out of a balloon or using it in a wasteful balloon in of itself. People just don't understand the intensive processes these natural resources have to go through to get to them. And I think that's how we get to a point where it's acceptable to buy a fridge for your skincare. Can you just get a basket and like put your skincare in it and like make its own little area in your fridge, please? Especially, by the way, these YouTubers who have nearly empty refrigerators. Why did you need another refrigerator for just your skincare? I don't get it, man. I love YouTube. I hate the trends that come along with it, okay? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this anti-haul. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but basically in my head, how anti-hauls work is I do one every month. So basically every month, I go onto my Instagram story and I say, hey guys, send me ideas you have for an anti-haul, because you guys send me them all the time, but it's hard for me to keep track of them. So make sure you're following me on Instagram, and you can actually turn on my notifications on Instagram to see whenever I post in my stories. I promise I don't overly post in my stories. I'm not an Instagram queen. But when I do post for the anti-hauls, if you have ideas, you can always leave them there, and then maybe I'll include one of yours in the anti-haul. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know which one of these was most irking to you. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye, guys.